Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show as usual. Well, in this today's ICC Champions Trophy, we had a match between two losers. Till now, Pakistan and South Africa have lost both their matches. In the sense, the first match that they played, Pakistan lost to West Indies, South Africa losing to India. And today, as I said, this match was like a must-win match for both the teams, South Africa and Pakistan. It was very, very important. And well, the final outcome was that even though Pakistan bowled well with their bowling attack to restrict South Africa to 234 for 9, on a track I would say, wouldn't say that it was very, very easy to bat on. There was a bit of slowness in the pitch, and well, Pakistan, I would say, they only made 167 in reply to South Africa's 234 for 9, thus losing the match by a very big margin of 67 runs. But well, one thing that I would like to say here, that Pakistan probably were a bit guilty. They lost two quick wickets pretty early, with Chris Morris actually on his debut picking up two quick wickets. But it was also essential that they needed to actually get the run rate. But what was happening for Pakistan, if one would have really closely noticed, was that the run rate kept on piling up from 4 to went to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. So that is not something that one would have expected from Pakistan. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that if they had actually just tweaked up the run rate instead of just keep, I mean, when you keep the run rate mounting, the pressure really mounts, and that's what precisely happened on Pakistan. And then well, the Pakistani batsmen has to really throw their bats around, and it was all over. As far as South Africa were concerned, it was a good toss to win for South Africa. So South Africa, what they did is they elected to bat first, and Pakistani bowling, as you know, has already been talked about in the ICC Champions Trophy. Even though Umar Gul is not available, it is a strong bowling attack. And on the other hand, if you look at South Africa have a very weak bowling attack because they don't have their main pace spearheads, Mone Morkel and Dale Steyn in particular, who was not there. But I thought South Africa really put up a good show. They put up 234 for 9 of the 50 overs. Well, it all started with Colin Ingram and Hashim Amla opening the innings, a steady start. There were not there was not much length given for the batsmen to drive, and so Ingram and Amla had to be a bit watchful, and they took their time. They in fact brought up the 50 only in the 14th or 15th over. So that was some good bowling from Mohammad Irfan and Junaid Khan, who really stuck to a very good line, and life was becoming difficult for the South Africans. The first wicket to go was Colin Ingram, as it was Mohammad Hafiz who actually provided them the breakthrough. When Colin Ingram was gone off a sweep shot, tried to sweep Mohammad Hafiz, trapped in front. He was gone for 20 or 45 balls with 2 fours. After that, Hashim Amla, and another thing about South Africa was that they didn't get lots of partnership. They just got partnership which probably it was like a brief partnerships they had, and that's what enabled them to reach 234 for 9. And Hashim Amla was the highest scorer, and he was the man of the match too, because as I said, on this particular track, I wouldn't say the pitch was very easy to bat on. It was something that the batsmen had to really use their skill and play there, and that's what Hashim Amla precisely did in scoring, and that's the precise reason he got the man of the match for scoring 81 of 97 balls with 9 fours. He got some good partnerships. It says that there were brief partnerships, as Faf du Plessis actually and let me tell you, from 53 for 1, again it was tough going for the South Africans, but it was much better than what it was with Amla and Ingram, with the score reaching 122 in the 29th over, with du Plessis contributing 28. And it looked like at 122 for 1, things were looking fairly settled for South Africa. They looked like they have already laid the foundation and probably aiming at a big score. And that was the time things started happening for Pakistan, as du Plessis' wicket started it all. When du Plessis was gone, caught by Shoaib Malik, Mohammad Irfan was the bowler, and du Plessis was caught into a pull shot, and Shoaib Malik actually took the catch. So he was gone for 28 of 40 balls with 2 fours. So that made it 122 for 2. After that, Hashim Amla, his partner, after carving a nice 81 of 97 balls, with nice 9-4 hit, which is, he's very sweetly, he has sweet timing when he strokes the ball. He also flicks well, and he also drives well, and so they were all there. It was all there for everyone to see in his knock of 81 of 97 balls with 9-4s. And Saeed Ajmal was the one who actually took the wicket of Hashim Amla when he was caught by Mohammad Hafiz. Good catch taken of the bowling of Ajmal for 81. So that made the score 145 for 3. And then when A.B. de Villiers and Amla were there, what A.B. de Villiers did, very smartly, he decided to take the batting power play because he saw that Hashim Amla was looking very well set, and himself. So in fact, he went for the power play. I thought it was in the 32nd over or 31st over. He actually took the power play. But the power play, as you know, as we have seen in the ICC Champions Trophy 2013 to date, the batting power play has not been pretty effective. And that's what precisely happened, because there was in fact, it was not a good power play for South Africa, because the runs added were very few, probably 16 or 19 runs, and they lost the wicket of Hashim Amla, and the score read 145 for 3. After that, once the power play was over, the power play was not taken advantage of. There was some good bowling. The spinners, Mohammad Hafiz was bowling during the power play. Ajmal bowled during the power play. Shoaib Malik was used pretty well. And after that, there were 2 runouts. A.B. de Villiers was run out. He stumbled while going for the run, and he was gone after making 31 of 31 balls with 1-4 and 1-6. Dumini made 19 runs of 24 balls with 2 good 4s before Junaid Khan actually snapped him, caught by Misbah ul Haq. In fact, Dumini was run out by Misbah ul Haq, who showed some very good reflexes there, and Dumini was run out for 24. South African innings never looked like gathering momentum after that. Once Hashim Amla and de Villiers were all gone, there was absolutely no momentum into South Africa, because David Miller was there, but I thought the Pakistani bowling was absolutely up to the mark. It was Mohammad Irfan who was bowling well. All the bowlers bowled well, barring Wahab Riaz, who leaked 50 runs of 9 overs. Other than that, I thought everyone, in fact, Misbah ul Haq today also had the luxury of using Shoaib Malik for his 6 overs, no maiden 1 for 27, and he was the one who actually picked up the wicket of Ryan McLaren, who was LBW bowled Malik for 4. David Miller was there till the end. Not till the end, in fact, after McLaren left, Miller also departed. He was out for 19 of 24 balls with 2 4s. Peterson was not out on 16 of 16 balls with 2 4s. And as I said, South African batsmen really found it very difficult to get the Pakistani bowlers off the square, and then they finished at 234 for 9 of 50 overs. Morris on his debut was run out for 1. Fangiso was run out for a duck on the last ball, and Peterson remained not out on 16 of 16 balls with 2 4s. As I said, they really couldn't do much, and they ended with 234 for 9. At that particular stage, one would have thought a score of 234 for 9 is something that Pakistan would easily be able to chase. Let's look at the bowling figures there for Pakistan. Mohammad Irfan, absolutely superb. 10 overs, 1 minute, 1 for 27 for him. Junaid Khan bowled well, 8 overs, 145. Hafiz bowled 10 overs, 1 for 38. He was very economical. Wahab Riaz has had leaked runs, 50 runs of 9 overs. Ajmal 10 overs, no maiden, 142. And Shoaib Malik bowled 6 overs, no maiden, 1 for 27. And as far as Pakistan were concerned, in their chase of 234, it didn't start off well. Chris Morris, as you know, came in place of today. He was roped in because Moni Morkel was not there. And what an international debut! What a one-day international debut for Chris Morris. What he did is he was bowling very well. He was ramping up the pace, bowling at 140 clicks, and what he did is he actually first picked up the wicket. In fact, he gave the early breakthrough for South Africa. In fact, he gave a double breakthrough. First, he picked up the wicket of Imran Farhat with a delivery which really went in straight, in the sense it really held its line, and Imran Farhat was beaten, and his stumps went cartwheeling there. So that was the first wicket to go of Imran Farhat. Bowled Morris for 2 of 9 balls. The next wicket that Chris Morris took is of Mohammad Hafiz, which was an important wicket because Mohammad Hafiz was induced into a pull shot by Morris. Morris tried to hook it. Hafiz tried to hook it, and he hooked it, and Miller took a very dolly of a catch. So that made the score 18 for 2 in the 8th over. And at that time, once Chris Morris was bowling a very good spell, bowling good line, he was skipping the ball. If you look at the South African bowling, the South Africans relied more on like full-length bowling today, just allowing absolutely no room. In the sense, no room. They were cramping them for room. and that was a very good bowling, what do you call, a bowling strategy which was taken by the South Africans, as A.B. de Villiers clearly mentioned that in the post-match press conference, and the score read 18 for 2. After it was, so Shoaib Malik and Nasir Jamshed were at the crease, and from then on it was pretty slow going. So that was the time which I thought, because it was the 8th over when Mohammad Hafiz was out, and after that, if you look at the there were, I mean, one can understand there were 2 wickets which went, but they started giving undue respect to all the bowlers. So Tsobe was bowling well, but when Ryan McLaren came, they were not able to really get runs. Aaron Fungiso bowled well, Dumini was pressed into the attack, Robin Peterson bowled. So basically what happened was it throttled the Pakistani innings, because the phase from which the 8th over when Mohammad Hafiz fell, and the 18th over when Shoaib Malik fell, the runs that they added were only 30 runs. So you would imagine, like in 10 overs they're only 38, and so the run rate really started mounting at that stage. And JP Dumini was the one who actually got Shoaib Malik's wicket with the after the break. Immediately took the wicket, as Shoaib Malik actually he actually played on to the ball, and probably I thought he was a bit slow on his reflexes to really remove that just play some football. But before that, the ball had actually hit the stumps, and Shoaib Malik was walking. Bowled Dumini for 8 of 29 balls, but it was a very meandering effort from Shoaib Malik. 8 of 29 balls with no boundary. But Nasir Jamshed, as and when he got an opportunity, but again Nasir Jamshed was doing all the nudging and pushing, and it was very essential for Nasir Jamshed to stay there at the crease. But when Shoaib Malik came, the score became 48 for 3, and Nasir Jamshed was joined there by the Pakistani captain. So once the Pakistani captain came, the run rate was probably getting on to 6 runs per over, and what Misbah-ul Haq did is he brought some sense of urgency, and once Misbah-ul Haq came, one saw that I wouldn't say runs were flowing, but at least it was much better than the phase when Nasir Jamshed and Shoaib Malik were at the crease. So that was something which was good for Pakistan. And while things were going on, and that was the time, as I said, run rate kept on increasing, steadily increasing. It was going from 5 to 6 to 7, and at that time Nasir Jamshed perished. It was a slower delivery from Tsobe to Nasir Jamshed, and Nasir Jamshed actually played the ball back, and Tsobe took a good catch on his follow through. So he was gone for 42 of 76 balls with 4 4. So it was an identical situation like what they had against the West Indies, where it was the rescue effort was done by Misbah-ul Haq and Nasir Jamshed, but today it was not to be. Nasir Jamshed had to depart, gone for 42. He made the score 86 for 4. Umar Amin came in, and I thought Umar Amin gave some good support to Captain Misbah-ul Haq by not intelligently, not hitting any force and just relying on only giving the strike to Misbah-ul Haq. But the bowling was so good from Ryan McLaren. Chris Morris came for his second spell, so Tsobe was brought for his second spell, and what happened was Misbah-ul Haq was there. As I said, Umar Amin was batting intelligently. And as I said, the run rate kept on increasing, so the pressure was definitely building on the Pakistanis. And then Umar Amin started to really start playing some strokes. He hit a very good power pack stroke for a boundary straight down the ground, and then that was it. As this is the time when Umar Amin was gone, as McLaren came in and picked up his wicket. He was caught by Ingram, the bowling of McLaren, for 16 of 29 balls with 1 4, which made the score 129 for 5, and then it was Kamran Akmal. He came in, and Kamran Akmal was out for a duck. Now Kamran Akmal actually played a good shot. It was a shot which he normally favorites. It's his cut shot. It was a fierce cut shot, but I thought it was a brilliant fielding effort by du Plessis, actually bringing off that catch of the bowling of Kamran Akmal. And it was a good field placement by A.B. de Villiers, because knowing that Kamran Akmal plays the cut shot well, he had his best fielder there, and du Plessis plucked the catch, and he was gone for a duck. So that made the score 134 for 6. So the pressure started building on Misbah-ul Haq, because he was running out of partners. Wahab Riaz was with him, and as I said, the batting power play was taken when Umar Amin was there, but to no avail. I mean, they couldn't garner much runs over there. And then Wahab Riaz came in and joined Misbah-ul Haq, and as I said, the pressure started building on the Pakistanis, and Misbah-ul Haq, all he could do is he reached his 50. After that, he tried to loft Tsobe, and Amla took a good catch in the deep, and he was gone for 75 balls with 3 4s and 1 6, and that was the alarm bells for Pakistan. Once Misbah-ul Haq was gone, at 7 for 148 on the 42nd over. Things became pretty difficult with the run rate mounting to 9, in fact going up to 10 runs per over, and then it became very difficult with only the tailenders left. Wahab Riaz swung a few to make 13 of 12 balls, 2 fours, but he tried to reverse sweep and he was bowled by Fangiso for 13. Saeed Ajmal was a hit of 4 and caught Ingram, bowled McLaren for 5, and then Junaid Khan's timber was hit by McLaren in the 45th over, the final ball of the 45th over, which brought an end to this Pakistani innings at 167. So 167 all out Pakistan in reply to South Africa's 234 that they made in their 50 overs for the loss of 9 wickets. Let's look at the bowling figures. I thought the South African bowling was pretty sharp and pretty good, especially Morris at the top of the order. 7 overs, no maiden, 2 for 25. What a international debut for Chris Morris. And then Sotsobe also bowled every time he was given the ball. Whenever he came in, he was brought in for 2 separate spells. And every time he came in, he picked up a wicket. First, he picked up the wicket of Misbah ul Haq was the first. Then he also picked up the wicket of Nasir Jamshed. So he got those 2 important batsmen there. So Sotsobe's 9 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 23. McLaren was very economical and he was the chief wicket taker. 8 overs, 3 maidens, 19 runs and 4 wickets. Fangiso, the spinner, was also impressive. 10 overs, 1 for 50. Dumini rolled his arm for 7 overs, 1 for 26, and Peterson bowled 4 overs for 17. The man of the match went to Hashim Amla for his effort of 81. Under the circumstances, I thought it was right because the pitch was, as I said, was not very easy to bat on. It was a bit slowish, and that was the precise reason the match adjudicators felt that Hashim Amla's innings of 81 was the difference between the 2 teams, and I thought it was the perfect choice. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, so that makes it increasingly difficult for Pakistan, and now Pakistan have to rely on, tomorrow, as you know, West Indies are taking on India, and they have to rely on West Indies beating all the teams. They would hope that the West Indies beat India, West Indies beat South Africa, and that is the only way that Pakistan, and then Pakistan have to beat India to get on to the semi-final stage. As you know, this is a knockout tournament. So now, so that's the only chances. As far as South Africa are concerned, they have really improved their chances. And well, we all look forward to tomorrow's clash between India and West Indies. India would definitely love to win that match against West Indies, because if West Indies win, then the task becomes a bit harder for India. But if they win tomorrow, then I think India will be absolutely coasting. But I think we are going to have a good game. But one thing I would like to say before I go, the last time that India and West Indies clashed in England, it was India actually I'm just trying to see, that was in 1983. Yes, yes, it was 30 years back that, as you know, the India actually sprung a surprise, being the dark horses of the tournament, upsetting the West Indies apple cart in 1983 when India beat West Indies in the final. So that was the last time that India won against West Indies in England. So this is after 30 years that India and West Indies would be clashing in England. And what a match that is going to be, and what a day that is going to be. So let's all wait for the play to start tomorrow. Once the match report, once the match is over, I'll be back once again with my match report. Sorry, dear fans, a bit under the weather today. I'm having a sore throat, but as you know, my Cricket Happening show is pretty dear to me, and you, dear friends and subscribers, are more dearer to me. So that's the precise reason I'm always here. Thanks for your company, and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings as usual. This is your host Ram, returning back to the studios. Thank you.